overlapped by the Chesterfield, Virginia driver, who is in the lead and has been out front for 55 laps tonight.
Well, that's okay. It's just a little nerf. You heard it. It didn't make a lot of noise. It usually is a big crashing sound if it hits hard. He just clicked it.
Just kissed it.
Wasn't a tank slapper. Just a little rub.
But the thing I'm seeing right now, and I know it's a lot due to traffic, he has one of the slowest cars in the top 10 right now, Denny Hamlin, the 11.
Yeah, that time Jeff Gordon took 3/10 out of his lead, and then Hamlin picked up the pace. He's again one of the fastest on the lead lap, along with Jeff Burton and Kurt Busch.
Scott Speed, when Hamlin had to work around Scott Speed, slowed him down just for a little bit, but he's back up to speed. Now he's got a couple other slow cars. Slow cars determine so much here.
Oh, by the way, that other Jeff we've been speaking about, Jeff Burton in that 31, he's on the move too. You can see how close he is reeled in that 24 car, Krista.
He has been completely quiet on the radio this run until the last lap. He just came on the radio and said, I'm just getting a little bit tight.
Thanks, Krista. Kevin Conway brushed the wall. He's been in and out of the garage a bunch and is 50 laps down as a result, but he has finished every race this year.
He got a little help.
Rookie. He did?
He got a little help. Yeah, he was getting past, and I think Kevin Harvick actually put a squeeze on him.
Fox Saturday Baseball next weekend, and NASCAR Sunday with NASCAR on Fox at Dover, Delaware. Here's what happened to Conway in the 37.
Actually, it was the 83 that put the squeeze on him. I saw Kevin come off the corner with the Conway up against the wall there. So the 83 actually put the squeeze on him.
Kyle Busch going past, now in 4th place. And here comes Burton after Jeff Gordon for 2nd. Matt?
Shades of that battle they had back in, what, 98 when they were battling for the win, the $1 million for Gordon. Right now, that would be like a win. The car loose this entire run. He says now, though, it is starting to tighten up. Steve Letarte, he's going to go 2 tires on the final stop, which also should help tighten up that race car for the short run to the finish.
Well, we've seen this most of the evening. I have with the 31 car. Really, really good at the end of a long run.
And this season, that has been Jeff Gordon's strong suit, Larry. Long runs are to his liking. Short runs and restarts, not so much.
Well, I definitely believe that Jeff Gordon would be one of the cars. He does not want to see a caution come out in these final 46 laps. But I agree with what Matt just said. I think that's what you'll see with all these teams as we see the 31 team, Todd Berry, the crew chief, conferring there. You only need to be there for just about 4 or 5 seconds of fuel to get to the end. So I think definitely go ahead and get the right side tires. I would not put 4 tires on with 20-something laps to go.
Jeff Burton has moved into 2nd, trying to put himself in a position to beat Denny Hamlin and claim his first victory of the season.
Tires are based on how much fuel you got to put in. Just like you said, if it's a splash and go, just splash and go.
And you may see some teams just do a little bit of splash and go.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Kyle Busch just a few laps ago ran his quickest lap of the race. So the track may be getting a little bit faster here. Are we going to see something like last night, where those cars on worn out tires ran their fastest laps right at the end and nobody needed rubber? Well,
I think that would kind of concur with what Darrell was saying, Jeff Hammond, that these guys that only need about 20 laps of fuel may see some of them, especially the guys on back in the pack on the lead lap, do a little splash and go.
And Larry, that's a great idea if you want to try to gain some positions, but what I would be concerned about and making sure that my spotter and my crew chief are working together on this to remind my driver, getting on the pit road here can be very tricky. You don't want to give up too much time, but you also don't want to come in, hit that commitment cone, and all of a sudden get a pass through or crash into the end of that pit wall trying to get on the pit road in a hurry. So you've got to get control of this final pit stop, especially if it's green flag, and don't mess it up.
You know what? The other part too, guys, I'd like to be the last one to come to pit road.
Well, and I think you will see that. Now, the one thing I do want to point out, one reason I would take 2 tires, Darrell, is because if we get a caution in those last 20 laps, then I'm staying out. If I don't have fresh tires even on the right side, I may be forced to have to pit.
More on strategy, Dick Berggren.
Well, Kyle Busch is in a special situation because on the last round of pit stops, he took 2 tires. And as
told him that, in fact, the pace is picking up, and although he just picked it up some, he hasn't picked it up enough yet.
And that's one of the concerns I have. It's a two-edged sword. Running the race last night, you learn a few things. But physically, at a track like this, at the end of the night, where we are right now, that drain on you physically has an effect on how your car doesn't handle as good because you're getting tired. Your feedback's not as good because you're getting tired. You don't hit your marks quite as good because you're getting tired. Wearing yourself down here physically, I mean, I think that's a big advantage for Burton. He didn't run last night.
Lap time wise, they're pretty much mirroring each other. Denny Hamlin in the 11-hour leader and Jeff Burton in the 31 in second.
Wow, Larry, they've really slowed down since qualifying. He only went 187 miles an hour into turn 3.
About 3 or 4 miles an hour off, about it.
20 more laps, Jeff.
There are your leaders, 1 second apart, Hamlin and Burton.
That's taking it right to the edge, Larry. 20 more laps.
Which will be about 20 laps to go.
What can we do to help you?
Now Jeff Gordon has fallen 3 seconds back of the lead.
I think it makes sense, Larry, for him to come possibly because he's fallen off. His car has really fallen off.
Kyle Busch in fourth, 4.5 seconds back.
You know how I mean, I don't know how you guys do it in the pits, but I know out there on the racetrack, when my lap times start to go away, I want to do something.
Yeah, because it's not going to come back.
Kurt Busch 6 seconds back in 5th place. Jamie McMurray 9 seconds off the lead, running in 6th. But still quite a race for the pole sitter.
And he's in the same boat that the 18 car is on that last caution. Took just 2 right side tires.
And now Burton's going to close up right on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin in the 11 because of the traffic that they're getting ready to come into. And here's a guy that we just seem like every week he finds himself in a little hole that we don't even realize he's there. David Rudiman in the 00 Aaron's car. He's sitting there running in 7th place. Last week he slipped in there. What did he finish? Well, he didn't finish all that great last week, but he was top 15. This guy has a way of just kind of hanging around and getting good finishes.
Look at how clean Rudiman's car is and how rumpled up.
Well, the left side's clean.
is.
The left side's clean, right side's not.
Not so much. Yep. For Juan Montoya. Brian Vickers has been in the top 10 just about all night. And earlier led 9 laps.
Been a nice night for that team.
Yep.
Really has.
And they needed it.
Kevin Harvick trying to hold off Ryan Newman at 10th place.
He actually just drove by Ryan Newman to take that 10th spot away from Newman in the 39.
Newman has been a top 15 car all night. And Brad Keselowski for the lead. Jeff Burton.
All clear, bud. All clear.
That Chevrolet goes to the front, and here comes Hamlin on the inside. Not so fast.
I had him and I lost him.
That was interesting.
It was. Well, that little tail happy getting off of turn 2, that kind of got Burton's attention, and it broke his momentum just enough that Hamlin in the 11 was able to shoot back around.
And we had got the report that Jeff Burton had been complaining about his car getting a little free, and it was free late exit of turn 2 that time.
So Burton has to regrid to try to get past Hamlin once more.
And while that's going on, Jeff Gordon back there is licking his chops. He's now pulled within a second and a half in that 24 car of those 2 leaders.
Yeah, he's cut that distance in half. See this again.
Well, what happens here, Jeff he got by the 11, but as he comes off, he didn't hit the wall. But boy, that scares you right there when you're coming off that corner and the back end comes around, because you just lucky to save it, man. Lucky to save it.
Steve, that was interesting for Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, he made the move work, Mike, but he just told Mike Ford, he said, I've gotten a little bit tight. Mike said, 10-4, we're going to see you on pit road in about 17 laps.
That seems like an eternity at this point of the night. 17 more laps.
And that's half the distance they have to run. So he'll be stopping with about 16 to go. As Denny Hamlin has gone back to the lead, fending off a challenge from Jeff Burton. Who's going to win it? You better stick around. Joey Logano's made a pit stop. Paul Menard, now Dale Jr. is in.